Nobody's ever on there.
No, I know. That's why I'm not really bothering to do anything yet.
Hello. And then it'll be like, we're notifying everybody that you're getting on. I can't even read that.
We're notifying, it says.
You mean bring it closer?
Oh, there's one person on.
I cannot read it all.
Hello. Welcome to our live. Welcome, welcome. We are doing a 40K live tonight in costume to thank you guys for 40K. So we're not going to be in character as much tonight, but we're going to be goofing off and wearing our Call the Midwife costumes, and feel free to ask us Q&A questions, but we're also celebrating the holidays. So hello, how are you guys? How are you guys doing tonight? Welcome, welcome.
So this is like your Christmas with your parents.
Christmas with your parents, but hopefully better than that. I don't know who your parents are, but if it was anything like mine,
I like
this
that
would
you
be
found
better
these
than
cocktail stirrers.
Yeah, I found. See, we went very in. We went very 1960s with our cocktails.
Well, we've got this beautiful actual 50s lamp back here. We've got two of these, and they're really cool.
But one is kind of off screen.
I'm gonna just put the top. Or
there
just
you
put
go.
The bottom on.
There you go. See, it's a very fancy lamp. It's a. We have 150 people on already.
Are you guys emo?
Are you guys emo? Sometimes. That is a sometimes thing. We are not emo right at this very second, but yeah, we are.
I don't think that's somebody who follows us, but if you actually, people who do follow us who are on here and want to see us show our entire emo butts,
stick around.
Yeah, stick around, because the beginning of the year,
we're gonna do something very emo for you.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's something brand new coming in January.
Okay, so I need Victorian living room pics now. Well, this is Victorian living room, as you can see. It's we're kind of doing a mid-century thing in a Victorian living room. So yes, somebody says they didn't expect to see a Shelagh and Patrick cosplay today, and they love it. Well, thank you. We fell in love with them when we first watched the show, and I was like, can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? And you were finally like, sure, we can do it. So, no, we love that show. We haven't watched the last season. I mean, we kind of know what happens, so we know what happens. But yeah, no, we really, Call the Midwife was our pandemic.
Mr. Rogers. It's funny because I've been called Mr. Rogers in every costume ever, I swear. Should just do that sometime.
Someone says highballs for the holidays 1960s. So these are not actually highballs. These are cranberry ginger ale and peach schnapps and vodka. So they are kind of a 60s drink, but not like a specific cocktail.
Last night I was drinking Vespers because
we were in the James Bond lately.
James Bond mood.
Shy says, Sticks and I cannot wait for the cosplay. Oh, yeah, Shy knows what's coming.
You're the only one.
Don't tell people what's coming.
I don't think our IRL friends know what we're doing in January.
We literally have only told like 2 people, so Shy, it's a secret. Someone says, I thought you were actually old people. I mean, we kind of are old people. Like, we're not 22, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'm middle-aged, but you're not quite middle-aged yet.
No, so we're younger than the characters in the show, but not by so much that it's not...
I don't know, I'm British. I'm not doing an accent, but
someone says, it's such a good show, I'm obsessed, you're gonna love the latest season. Someone says Kennedy or Nixon.
I know, that's what I said. I said that I wouldn't have an opinion, because my character's British.
Yep. I mean, maybe he would. Maybe he's in touch with current events.
So the reason we're not doing accents tonight is because we haven't really practiced their accents very well, and...
we don't want to embarrass ourselves.
We don't want to embarrass ourselves, yes, exactly.
See, we'll only do it once we've kind of practiced them.
At the top?
It says something about soccer.
Man,
I think it's an ad.
So right now, this is one of the weird things that's happening on TikTok when you go live, is there's tons of ads now that pop up all over the screen.
And it's very distracting because I'm trying to read what people are saying, but I'm also getting very, very distracted by ads about soccer, or football, I guess, in these costumes. So
we're going to be in these outfits right now, which is them hanging out at home, celebrating Christmas outfits. We are going to switch into our other ones to make some videos later, but we're not going to switch into them on the live.
But, someone says, your secret is safe with us. Oh, Shy says, your cosplays look great tonight, by the way. Thank you. And then someone says, I think Patrick would keep up to date, but only because of Tim talking to him about it.
With the World Cup or with politics? I mean, maybe American politics.
He'd probably
Tim seems like someone
know
who'd care about American
vague
politics.
things like who is the president. I mean, maybe he wouldn't have an opinion, but if you ask him who is the president,
I mean, I
he'd
think
probably...
that in the show, he kind of tends to be, he gets more and more liberal as the show goes on, so I think he probably would be a little bit more of a Kennedy guy, probably.
I don't know, maybe he would
Maybe?
just... I don't know, I feel like...
I can't quite I don't know, ask Stephen McGann. Now, if you
Who's
follow him
active on Twitter, and you can talk to him.
He's active on Twitter, and
We've talked to him.
very political on Twitter, just so you know. He is very, very, very anti-Tory. So you'll have fun if you go follow him on there.
And you can ask him what Dr. Turner's political opinions, because I'm sure he has opinions about what Dr. Turner's political opinions
I think
are.
he probably does have opinions about Dr. Turner's political opinions, and he has a lot of political opinions and curses a lot, and compares politicians to all sorts of things. It's pretty funny. So anyway, everybody go follow him because he's funny.
Someone asked us, how about the Cuban Missile Crisis last October? It's pretty scary stuff, I mean, you know.
CTM Farrell is Twitter, Twitter is Farrell, and I love it.
We discovered it by accident posting these cosplays last year.
Yeah.
We just kind of, you posted a picture, we're not super... I mean, we were
I wasn't active on Twitter. Now I'm active on Twitter
and
a lot.
we just started posting, you just started posting that, and you tagged, both of them responded and told us they were cute, which was really sweet. But then they all went crazy about it, and we're like, we didn't even know this was an active thing, because we're obviously Americans, so here, like, we know other people who watch the show, but there's not really as much of
like
a
few
fandom.
of our historical costumer friends, pretty much.
and like
and my grandma,
older relatives and things like that. But like, it's not everybody we know. But like, I've kind of discovered that it's something that a lot of people really know and love and want to talk about. So, but mostly in Britain, but like not so much here. So
well, and I also found out when we were at. You know, it's funny because you hadn't gotten into the show yet when you lived there for a while. And
I lived in Scotland for a while.
you hadn't gotten into the show yet at that point, and it was.
But it was fairly early in the run at that point. It was
like.
It was 2014, so they were on like season 3.
They were like, yeah.
So anyway, I lived in Scotland, but it was still fairly early on, and my roommates were Scottish, but that's not really what they were.
You guys watched reality TV.
We watched reality. I mean, we were in our, we were late 20s, so we weren't watching Call the Midwife. We were watching, like, reality TV shows and game shows and things like that. But there was a show that we were watching, and it was, like, kind of like almost like a Hunger Games thing. I don't remember what it was called.
What on earth?
I don't know what it was called.
Oh, wait, was it I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here?
No, it wasn't a reality show. It was, like, a drama.
A drama.
It was, like, a BBC 3 drama. Anyway, yeah, that's what we were watching. We also, my roommates were really, really into Brave. They made us watch Brave multiple times in the months that I was there. I
would think that people in Scotland wouldn't like Brave. That seems...
They loved Brave. I don't know why. Someone said, did you ever watch Ko Lyoko? No, I don't think I did. Yeah, I mean, I watched...
I've actually not even heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't either. I mean... my roommates were just kind of watching, like, a lot of the BBC 3 shows at the time, and would invite me, and so I would say, yeah, sure, even though I had no idea what was happening at all sometimes, because we would start, like, mid-third season, and I'd be like, I don't know what's happening, but yeah, great. Yay, TV. So, yeah, but we found this show kind of during the pandemic, and watched 8 seasons.
It was actually very early 2020, and we had, like, nothing to do, and... I mean, not nothing to do, but, like, there were lots of, like, we couldn't go out anywhere, so we had all this free time, and we're like, well...
Someone says, have you watched Courage the Cowardly Dog? Yes, but that's a significantly older show, and I have watched it.
Well, yeah, that was on when you were a kid.
Yeah, that was on when I was a kid, so now you know how old I am. But no, I mean, we watch shows, it's just that lately we haven't been watching as many things, but we are watching BBC Ghost, which is really fun, so that's...
Oh, yeah, there's probably not going to be a cosplay from it for a while. Because we usually do couple cosplays, and there's not a couple that we've really kind of latched onto in that one. I mean, not yet, but we're still... I mean, that's kind of why we haven't done a lot of our Flagmean stuff either. We did very briefly, but we didn't, like, there wasn't for a convention, yeah.
But, like, for one event, but I'm not sure, if we'll continue to do those, and we still have them, but I don't know how often we'll do them. They were fun costumes, and they were really comfortable, but... Okay, so we've got some comments.
Yeah.
Someone says, I am from Utah. Yeah, we are from Chicagoland. We're not from the city of Chicago anymore, although we used to be. We moved out into the suburbs and bought a house.
Bought this
crazy,
gigantic
weird
house. But the funniest thing, and if you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw me post about this, but one of our friends, when they walked in our house for our Halloween party?
Maybe.
Walked in and looked up and said, who'd they build this house for? The Jolly Green Giant? We've got 14-foot ceilings in this room. You can't quite tell how high they are.
But they're
behind
very,
us,
very high.
It looks like we're like in a
If
backdrop
you lose
or
a
something,
balloon,
but...
you are out of luck.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You have to have a pretty long string.
Yeah.
Well,
so
our ceilings are 14 feet in this room.
Someone said, oh, Abby and Pink says, hey, lovelies, how's my favorite couple doing? Oh, we're doing good. We've been very, very busy, which is why our videos, we haven't made as many new ones lately, but we've made some in the last couple weeks because it slowed down a little bit. But up until Halloween, we were just going. But luckily, we've had a little bit of time to make some stuff and slow down and just enjoy.
We had a couple shows like at the beginning of November, kind of stretching the Halloween season out, and we didn't have any time for anything until recently. But we did do the new OOQ stuff. So and we're going to be doing obviously tonight some Call the Midwife videos, and we'll have some
surprise
more
for you in January. This is probably the last ones we'll do before the holidays, but we'll keep posting.
We might, if we get time, we might do one more before the holidays, and it's an old favorite that we haven't done in a while, but that has been being asked for over and over
We're
and over.
We're gonna try.
And over again.
We will see if we can make it.
I'm gonna try to do some.
Someone
Christmas
says, "Do we know when the next season comes out?" I assume it's about Called the Midwife. Well, the last season just finished airing. I think that they are doing a Christmas special, but I don't think they've announced the next season after that.
They posted a teaser photo for the Christmas special, or a couple of teasers.
Yeah, a couple teasers. So I doubt they would announce anything until after that episode airs, and then they might kind of tease because
I don't think they're gonna do like a sequel to that episode like they did last year because they had to do but I don't know. I haven't been paying enough attention to when things are coming out.
Someone says Courage is my favorite show because it's scary. Yes, it's a sweet show, but it's also scary. I mean, I also grew up with kind of like Billy and Mandy and things like that. That kind of stuff was really big in that era.
So I was in high school when both those shows came out, and I enjoyed watching them with my sister, but I particularly did like the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and we've talked about cosplaying from that too. We've talked about a lot of things and just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things on our list. Our list is extremely expansive, and then only a third of them actually happen.
If I pop away at any point, it's because
we have dinner cooking, and we're just trying to make sure.
We made a lovely mid-century feast in there. Everything is true 60s cooking. I didn't do any aspic because she told me not to do any aspic.
You suggested aspic, and I said, no, I want to enjoy my dinner. I mean, aspics are actually not as bad as you would think. I don't know if you've had one.
I was going to say, you enjoyed my last
It wasn't
aspic.
bad, but the meat ones are weird. The vegetable ones are fine. The fruit ones are fine. The meat ones, that's where I draw the line.
I don't have a problem with them. I don't know.
Someone says ghosts, yes. Someone else said love the old school makeup. Looks amazing. Thank you. I don't know. I feel like in terms of my face, I was born in the wrong era. Everything else, no, I'm happy to be modern, but yeah, I fit way better in 60s clothes and 60s makeup than I do modern stuff.
But the nice thing is that now you can buy the clothing and you can be, cute vintage girl, and people love that.
And then Abby says, I understand life gets crazy, relatable. Yeah, this year has been a lot. I finished...
Do very well.
Someone said we pull off Shelagh and Dr. Turner very well. Oh, thank you. How do we
I'll
watch in
work
the US?
on the accent eventually.
Someone said I was watching on Netflix. Yeah, we watched it on Netflix too. I don't know
if They did put season 10 is on Netflix now.
No, we just have to go back to Netflix because we kind of switch off streaming seasons. We go one to the other.
But 11's not going to be on Netflix for a while.
For a while, so... but yeah, we were watching it on Netflix, but I think they're usually always a season behind. Someone says they love our accounts and our cosplays. Well, thank you.
And unfortunately, I kind of spoil myself on stuff because sometimes I can't bear to not know what's going to happen in something. But I figure that a good show is still going to be nice to watch.
And then Abby says, have you watched Wednesday yet on Netflix? We haven't.
Netflix is next. We'll be switching back to it eventually, but right now we're still doing... Yeah, we've got HBO Max and Amazon Prime at the moment, so I'm watching some stuff. Well, I'm kind of annoyed because of the James Bond movies. The only ones that are on Amazon Prime right now are Skyfall and... No Time to Die, which is really annoying.
We want to watch Spectre.
I'm trying to rewatch all of them, and
in order.
I can't rewatch them in order right now on there.
And Spectre's not on there, which is very sad. But yeah, no, Wednesday is on our list. Once we get done with, I think, Ghost, we'll probably switch. We're on season 2 of Ghost, I think, right now. So we're getting there, I think.
Yeah, we're almost done with season 2 of Ghost.
Mm-hmm. I think there's just 3 seasons, so right now. So,
I think, yeah, I was going to say, I think
so we're getting
season,
there. But anyway, once we get through that, I think we will switch back to Netflix because we haven't had it for about a year, so there's been some stuff released, one season of Call the Midwife, Wednesday, and some other stuff that I do want to see. But yeah. Anyway, how is everyone doing? I mean,
I'm gonna go check on the phone real quick, sorry.
We don't do these lives very often, so I just wanted to, check in and see how everybody was doing, and the holidays coming up. The
holidays already started.
Well, the holidays have already started. But, like, the big section where everybody gets off work for, like, a long period is still coming up. But, yeah, I like the holidays, but I don't like the holidays. You okay?
Yes.
I like the holidays, but I don't like the holidays because on the one hand, I like the aesthetic and I like the food, but on the other hand, it can be very stressful. Our families are expanding rapidly, but, So we've got a lot of family to go see and things like that. So it's nice, but it's a lot. Sorry, no, David is checking our potatoes. We're doing grape jelly meatballs, which is a really surprisingly good 60s recipe. It is, you literally just put grape jelly in with meatballs in like your crock pot and it's like really sweet, but they're like surprisingly good. So if you like, and paprika, so if you like 1960s food and you like things that are kind of sweeter, definitely try it. It's super easy. It's really good. Another thing you can try is like an aspic with carrots and stuff really is not that bad. People are scared of aspics, but like as long as you're okay with Jell-O, they're not as bad as they would seem. I was a little horrified the first time I had one, but they're really not so bad. Abby and Pink says our OOQ is absolutely amazing.
That's good. I'm happy with it.
I'm glad people are enjoying it. No, it's one of those ones that I wasn't sure if a lot of people would like because it's 10 years old, but I think people have been enjoying it. We have a lot of shipping content to post. We haven't posted most of the kind of angst and shipping videos yet, so keep on the lookout. I think a lot of those will turn up in the next month or so. Shai says, Sticks and I are stressed with finals. We're just grateful the semester is almost over. Yeah, I don't envy you. I just finished grad school, so I know how that feels. This is my first year in a number of years not having to kind of worry about that. I graduated from grad school in August, and my commencement is actually next week, so very exciting. And Shai says, I'm enjoying learning more about these characters. Do you mean OOQ or you mean Call the Midwife? And Abby and Pink says, OMG, love it. For people in this live, get you a partner who is amazing as David is. Yes, David is very sweet. We have been together for almost 10 years, crazily enough. And that should also tell you my age. We've been together for since 2013, and we knew each other a little bit before that. We met at cons. We met kind of at 2 cons. I remember one time that we met, and then David remembers the other time that we met, but like actually really interacted because we met very, very briefly at a convention in 2011, but it was like one of those like very fast kind of goofing around type interactions. And then in 2013 or 2012 I guess we met again at a different convention. And we actually, like, hung out at a photo shoot, so we ended up, like, getting to talk and, like, getting to, like...
It's pretty bad. The butter dripped out of the
foil,
because it's real crappy foil.
Oh, no. Sorry, our potatoes are dripping. But we met at a Doctor Who photo shoot at a convention. So that's, like, when we became DeviantArt mutuals, because it was 2012. And then we also became Facebook friends, and then started to see each other at other events, and started talking, and, it went from there. And we started dating in 2013, so we were, like, friends for, like, a year and a half-ish before we started dating. But, yeah. So that's our story, and there was a lot of bumps in the road, but we were long distance for 3 years, which is hard. So I understand how that goes. It can be very hard, but we we got through that. I graduated college. We, moved in together after a while, and then we got married. So.
What was the question that brought that up?
Oh, somebody was just saying that you were an amazing partner.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
very sweet.
Yes. And then Shai says, but honestly, it's been fun learning about the characters you guys do. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I used to, when I was younger, kind of fall into the trap of, like, doing whatever was really big at the moment, because I felt like I'd get a lot of attention kind of doing that. And that's really fun, like, sometimes to do the big thing, because there's a lot of community and a lot of people want to talk about it and interact and do things in that fandom. But, like, I don't know. I think I've kind of found over time that, like, it's really more fun, and you'll want to do things more in your life and keep doing costumes beyond that kind of initial period if you really do things that you really want to do, regardless of whether they're popular or whether they're kind of small or whether they're, just even, like, super, super niche. Because we've done some stuff in our lives that, like, we fully didn't expect anybody to know at all. We just did the Phantom of the Opera in 1990, which is a very, very, very obscure version of the Phantom of the Opera. I mean,
yeah,
there's,
but it's
like,
on YouTube, so everybody can
there's,
watch
like,
it
a
now.
specific version that people like, but, there's, like, a specific group of people that like it, but it's, like, a pretty small thing. But, like, I got really obsessed with it.
We found out at the steampunk/historical convention we went to.
There's a lot more people that like it.
A lot of people knew it. It was really great because, like, everybody knew it, especially all of the older women.
Somebody said something in another language, and I don't know what it is.
You scroll up a little?
It's that last one right there.
Oh. Hey, comment was du...
I don't know what that means.
I can't even read the rest of it.
Ajord. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure. And I unfortunately can't translate in this.
Yeah.
Actually, if you press it, will it let you translate it?
Let's find out.
Translate? Yes? Okay.
Hey, how are you today?
Oh, okay.
Sorry. We're doing well. Yeah, we actually just got back from a little Christmas event in our town. We were doing earlier. Hi, Birdie. That we were doing earlier today. Say hi to Birdie. He wanted to say hi. Hi, buddy. How are you doing?
I think it would be really cool if the Turners got a dog for Christmas.
You're now on really about them getting a dog. You really want them to get a dog.
I like this dog.
He's a good boy.
Oh, the ones that you have to explain to everyone. Well, I've done the most obscure thing I've ever done cosplay-wise.
The one that was like the fake Doctor Who?
Yes. Okay, so one time it was Dragon Con. At the time there was like a joke. It was like the Goncharov thing, except it was a smaller group of people. It wasn't nearly as big as the whole Goncharov thing. It was a smaller group of people, but it was people who watched Community, and they basically decided to create, whole cloth, this whole mythos of Inspector Spacetime. So we had like a whole version like of Inspector Spacetime, and Joanna Lumley had supposedly played the 5th Inspector. And so I decided that I was going to do this for Dragon Con and design her costume. And all we knew from like what the fandom had put together and created was that her hat was in the shape of an ampersand. She had a crazy hat in the shape of an ampersand. And so I was like, okay, this is what we know about this character. I'm going to make this happen and wear it to the convention. One person knew what I was doing at Dragon Con, which is like,
one of the
almost
conventions
100,000 people.
Where if you have anything even remotely known, somebody will know it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
hey, you know what? One person knew what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a pretty good win. That's the most obscure thing I've ever done, though.
I mean, probably one of mine is the Phantom 1990.
Joke.
I'm trying to think what else I've done that would qualify as like...
Yeah, because I don't think it was obscure when we did Mythbusters. It was weird.
Yeah, we did female Mythbusters one time. We thought it was funny.
Oh yeah, we were sexy Mythbusters in little short shorts. It was really cute. But the thing was, we had a big sign because you built their logo as a sign that we could carry around. So
we did. Well, we did the busted signs. It wasn't the Mythbusters.
Busted.
It
That's
said
right.
busted. It was like one of the metal ones that they throw down,
you made
like busted.
A metal busted sign, and you had you had goggles on your head and stuff. You were really cute.
But we did. We also ran into a guy who was dressed as Walt Disney himself that day. I remember. That was pretty obscure. But I'm trying to think about, for me, like, what else I've done that's been, like, extremely obscure.
Oh.
Bacon. Potato.
I heard the bacon pop.
Time to go.
It's time.
Whoop.
Means bacon's about done.
But, yeah, I'm trying to think what else I've done that's, like, extremely obscure. I mean, we've done a bunch of Beatles. Probably the Quarrymen was also extremely obscure. Because, like, people know the Beatles, but do they know what the Beatles looked like before they were famous? I feel like that's not horribly well known.
We know who we are when we do the Beatles at cons, though.
Yeah, but not the Quarrymen, though.
Oh no, when we've done those, nobody's known what we were doing.
I mean, specifically the Quarrymen.
We only did that one time
at a
convention.
Con. And it was at a convention where it wasn't, like, a really big convention. It was a pretty small convention, and not one where I'd really expect. So, like, nobody knew what it was. But we knew what we were doing. We knew what we were doing. It didn't matter. Someone said, "OMG, hi! You were on my FYP nonstop over quarantine, and I missed you." We've still been here. We haven't been doing as many new things as we were doing during quarantine, just because we haven't had as much time. But we're still posting videos almost every day, and doing lives fairly often. Yeah. So.
Well, not as often because we only did one after we moved in here.
That's true.
Only did one live, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've done a live every couple months lately, so it's not been as many, but we're still posting videos, we're still active, so yes, welcome back.
Yeah, there have been a few people lately who've commented things
that they haven't seen us in a while, and then we popped up again.
And I'm not sure, I feel like TikTok's been pushing a lot more, like, really, really popular accounts in terms of, like celebrity accounts.
Because our FYP has all been, like, things over 500,000 views lately. Like, almost everything that has been on our FYP has been really popular stuff. So, like,
ads, so many ads and sponsored content.
But I really have to go into the following to see anything else. So if you're not following someone and they have under, 200,000 followers, I think you don't get to see them very much anymore. At least we don't, which is sad because I feel like
to go into the following.
I feel like I'm not finding as many cosplayers and people who are kind of independent as I used to, because, like, back, I'm
finding more of them if they comment on our stuff.
They comment, or that they follow us on Instagram, or something like that, or sometimes if I go into a tag of, like, a pairing that we do to just see, like, what else is out there, sometimes I'll find it that way. Someone said, that's how I found you guys just now. Yeah, I mean, sometimes our lives also get pushed out, I think, a little bit more than our videos, but our videos have been, somebody says you look like a zombie or a Silent Hill. I think it's probably the lighting. The lighting in here is not great right now.
Well, I think it's
makeup
mainly
and lighting combined, but we have this kind of overhead light in here that's in a weird spot, so I think it's
kind of behind and above me.
It's not helping.
And you have most of the ring light hitting you. And
I have the ring light. Whoa,
I'm even scarier when I do that because I get hit with the white ring light.
Scary. Scary.
I mean, I guess also it's probably the 60s clothing.
Ooh. Well, it is Silent Hill, so that does track. Ooh, zombie. No, that's funny.
I like Silent Hill. I feel like I don't know.
I've never
the stories
played Silent
could have been a little better. So my best friend and I, John, back in St. Louis, where I lived forever and ever, he and I played a couple of the games. Hey, together. He's played all of them, but I haven't.
Birdie is back. Oh, he's lying down. You can't see him,
yeah,
but
you can't see the dog. That's
he is lying down very, very sweetly between us, basically. Like, you can kind of see his paw happening here. He's just like, woo. Someone says, you need a diet that doesn't comprise of protein, bobas, and bourbon.
A diet?
I don't even know. Do they even make protein bobas?
I mean, is that a comma?
I don't know.
I think that really is saying protein, bobas, and bourbon. Interesting.
Well,
Is
I
that
think
the same person.
Yeah, I think tonight is more of grape jelly meatballs and mashed potatoes. So maybe not that. Maybe you gotta switch it up.
I think I need to eat fewer carbs. That's probably
Yeah,
it.
but carbs
I think
are
that's
good.
what's giving me such a waxy complexion, or it's probably just the makeup.
Probably just makeup, honestly. Somebody says you all have been great sports. Oh, that's the same person. Well, I don't take anything too seriously.
What did the other person say?
Oh, they said, "Hi, I'm here now."
Is that our neighbor, or is it?
I don't know.
else?
Wiggly Piggly Pig. I doubt that's our neighbor.
No, I doubt it.
One of our neighbors said he would join the live. I don't think he has, but
I'm guessing that he went over for the hot toddies.
I think
with
he
everybody
did.
else and
He
never got back.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'll watch your live later," and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out for hot toddies." I think he's
Yeah, like all the rest of the gays in the neighborhood went across the street
to have hot toddies.
For hot toddies, because
There's a brewery.
There's a really cool brewery there.
Really near our house, and we were doing like a local Christmas festival, and they all went to go have drinks afterwards, but we were like, no, we said we would go do this live, so we're gonna go do that. But we had also been to the brewery earlier, like at 2 hours before the festival, so we felt like it'd be weird to go twice in one day. But I doubt that is him. But but if so, hi, how are you doing? Anyway. Somebody says, what are you guys drinking? We are having a mixed drink. This is a cranberry ginger ale.
She made it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's like half cranberry ginger ale, which you can get around the holidays. Which in my opinion is better than regular ginger ale. It just kind of is nice. And then it's a little bit of peach schnapps and then vodka. So it's like kind of.
Which vodka did you use?
Just the cheap
it tastes
one.
Like it tastes really tasty.
Yeah,
the vodka doesn't taste like much.
We have two of them, and one is like a really flavorful one, and the other one is like one of those like really really tasteless ones that's good for mixers. So yeah, it's the mixer one. But yeah, so it's a really sweet.
So if you're over 21, she'll put out her drink recipes someday.
Yeah, well maybe
Maybe I'll
I
put
just
them on
kind
my
of.
Twitter.
Oh, and there's also French lavender in it from our garden because
yeah.
I'm fancy. No, I just took it in there as a garnish.
I think it's Spanish lavender.
Spanish lavender, but we actually harvest several types of lavender, so whatever that was.
Good. It's Spanish lavender.
Yeah, it's a sweet drink. It's like just kind of a sweet kind of, you can't even taste any of the alcohol in it kind of drink. But I just figured I wanted a bright colored drink because it's mid-century, and I feel like people in the 60s would not drink something if it wasn't brightly colored.
I don't know. They drink some whiskey.
Someone says, I'm nearly 17, but I'll be going to college in less than a year. Well,
if you're in Britain, you can drink when you're 18. If you're not in Britain,
technically,
or in Europe,
you're
actually most of Europe.
I was pretty good starting in college. I was kind of a goody-good, but I did start drinking at 20 because I studied abroad, and the drinking age was lower, and I was around with a bunch of people who had been drinking for a very long time, so they kind of helped me kind of figure out what I liked and help me kind of get into it kind of more responsibly. Like, it was less like toga, and more like, oh, you might like craft beer.
But yeah, you got really into craft beer when you
I got really into craft beer. I mean, I was in Scotland, and I got really into craft beer. I got into certain types of mixed drinks, and yeah, I learned, what I liked in kind of a judgment-free zone with people that were pretty experienced, because a lot of the Scottish 20 and 21-year-olds had been drinking since they were high schoolers, so they were past the crazy part, and they were more responsible and knew what they liked, so they were good people to help me kind of learn how to drink responsibly. I guess it's like kind of a culture, I don't know. And then you didn't drink.
Well, my mom would occasionally, after I turned 18, she'd occasionally make me like a mulled wine or a hot toddy if I was sick. Because it was like, this will soothe your throat kind of thing.
Yeah, and I did that too before that, but...
But then, I didn't actually drink in public until I had been 21 for a month, and I lived in St. Louis at the time. After I turned 21, I went out with a bunch of my friends to this place that you know about it, Grant's Farm.
Yep.
And they have free beer there. And
it's a place owned by Anheuser-Busch.
I had never actually had beer before at that point, and I tried it for the first time. I didn't really like it all that much, but it was free. But what I really liked was the Lime-A-Ritas, so I actually had a couple of those. But
well, and then you got drunk for the first time in public, or totally drunk for the first time period, when you were like 27. 25, and...
I was very, very good.
Went out with your boss with one drink, but no, I started a little bit earlier than that, but it was still kind of a goody-good.
It's fine to be a goody-good.
Yeah,
it's fine to not be a goody-good.
No pressure. But... you know, it should be
I
something
don't encourage you to drink underage.
It should be something that is entirely voluntary, and just be safe about it would be my advice to you, because, you know your limit.
Even if you're 21.
This is advice regardless of your age. Know what your limit is. Know your surroundings. Know the company that you're with. And never get yourself to a point where you're too incapacitated to get back to where you live, or too incapacitated to make good decisions and, say no in sexual situations or anything like that, unless you're with people that you 100% absolutely trust. Because, people go out with big groups of friends, and I've just heard one too many horror stories and seen too many things where people think they're with good friends, and then their friends just leave, and then they're stuck, but they're too incapacitated to, get home. So, just be careful. It's up to you whether you want to drink or not drink. It's completely your choice at the end of the day, but don't let anyone pressure you, and know your limits, and just, think about where you are and think about who you're with before you decide to be incapacitated, basically, would be my personal advice to you. But yes. Anyway, that was your mother content for the day. I just gave you a motherly lecture, and I'm very sorry about that.
She's going right into her Shelagh Turner here and being everybody's mother. She's just going to adopt all of you.
Yes. I've had exactly one sip of an alcoholic beverage and decided I didn't like it, so no drinking for me. Yeah. I mean, if you don't like it, then don't do it. There's no reason to do it. My
dad's a teetotaler.
Yeah.
He's not drunk anything since he was...
it's possible
in
that
his late 20s,
at some
20s.
other point in your life, you may find that there's something that you do like, because there's a huge variety of things. Some things taste very, very differently than other things. A beer versus this is a wildly different taste. But, if you don't want to do it, if you don't like it, then don't.
There's no reason.
There's no shame in that.
But
also don't be hard on yourself if later on in your life you decide you do like it and you change that. Like, don't feel that you're a bad person or something like that. And somebody says, love your Good Omens content. Well, thank you. We were talking about doing Good Omens fairly soon. I'm hoping we'll get to do some probably after the holidays.
It'll be in the new year. We have some holiday stuff already made for them.
Yep.
That we did, back at the beginning of October?
Yeah, and in early October, we put together some Curly and Aziraphale Christmas videos, but we'll do probably Ineffable Bureaucracy probably in the new year. But we have something new to share with you in January, so keep an eye out for that.
Keep watching. Watch this space, because it's going to be weird.
And Shai says, it's just me getting in character. Yeah, well, we are probably going to foster or adopt fairly soon. And
I've got a bad history of adopting lots of people who are not that much younger than me, as sort of, because I've always kind of been that adult that was like at least kind of on my feet, even when I was really not doing terribly well financially. Like, I guess I kind of had a level head in a way, because I always had like a place to live and things like that. Well, okay, there was a period there where I didn't, but long story. But I ended up feeling like I adopted a whole lot of people when I was running conventions and stuff, including some that lived in my house for a while that I had to take care of.
Birdie got one of the gift bags and is fighting. It's an empty gift bag.
Oh, okay.
It's empty.
In it? Well, he absolutely wrecked the house while we were gone. So we were gone for like 4 hours. 3 hours? Like 3 hours maybe?
Yeah.
To go to this Christmas thing. And we got back.
There's a trash can just completely thrown around.
Two trash cans were completely destroyed. Everything thrown all over the floor.
Multiple bags and pieces of trash, and there was also dog poop all over the floor. I don't know what he was doing while we were gone.
Yeah, we took him out before we left, so no good reason for it. But he decided to poo all over the floor and dumped over 2 trash bags and ate a whole bunch of lollipop wrappers that were in one of the trash bags. And ate parts of... Oh, yeah, he also got into your desk area and stole a whole giant bag of pretzels and ate some of the pretzels and ripped a bunch of holes in the bag. Yeah, it was a mess. It was a real mess in the house.
He's a very sweet dog, but he's very much a puppy in a lot of ways.
And he just stole my jazz shoes. I'm going to take those away.
Okay.
Sorry.
He's a very sweet dog, but he's a rescue and just over puppy age, so he... acts very much like a puppy, but he is very sweet. Someone says they can't wait for the new season of Good Omens. Yeah, we're really excited about it. I'm hoping it involves Gabriel in a prominent way. It seems like it will, so fingers crossed on that one. Huh. And somebody was talking about the new season of Good Omens.
Yeah, you said you hope it involves Gabriel.
Uh-huh. And then somebody else said Birdie was on a rampage, and somebody else said a little troublemaker. And I'm like, yeah, he's regularly on a rampage. We have to keep very careful about our snacks now because he'll just get into anything. And
Spock helps. I'm not gonna.
Spock helps. Oh no, Spock's always a troublemaker, but Birdie is even, I'd say, more of one than Spock. He's he's a puppy. He likes to get into anything he can get into.
Ready.
Yay! Food is ready. Could I get
cheese, sour cream, and green onions?
Could I get butter and green onions and sour cream, please?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, we're having potatoes. Anyway, yeah, but he's just a puppy, and he also, so he was a pickup from a street rescue. He was found just on the street. So he was a pickup from a street rescue. He was found just on the street wandering. He was really matted. They cleaned him up, and then he was in the rescue for about a month, or actually 2 months, which is unusual given his age, but it's because he was growling at people in the meet and greet, and but I grew up with rescue dogs, like rescue Shih Tzus, and we were like, let's give him a shot. So they had a trial period. By the end of it, he was not growling at us anymore, so we felt like that was a good sign, and he's just become an absolute cuddlebug with us. Still a little wary around strangers, but really loves us, but definitely a bit of a troublemaker. Someone says, have we watched Staged with David Tennant and Michael Sheen? No, we haven't. That's one on our list, though. And someone says, we put him in a crate to chill when we leave. No, I don't feel comfortable putting him in a crate just because he was, I don't know what he was subject to before. We've put him when we need to, but we usually just kind of lock him in a bathroom or something if there's like a contractor over for like a little bit while that person is here. And then once they leave, we'll let him out again. But yeah, he mostly gets run of the house, but we do keep everything that could hurt him up so that he can't get to it. But yeah, if they poop on the floor, they poop on the floor. I'm not going to be angry at them for it. I understand that they're animals, even though I wish they wouldn't. So Shai says, the new troublemaker is learning from the veteran troublemaker, and that is 100% true. Spock is also a troublemaker in many, many ways. Spock is a serial peer. He likes to pee on our curtains all the time. He's been better about it, actually, since Birdie joined the household, but still gets in plenty of trouble, and does his Spock thing.
Oh, I forgot to make the mushy peas.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We were gonna make mushy peas because it's very mid-century, but we forgot, so sorry.
I forgot to make them.
Oh, it's fine, don't worry about it. So yeah, anyway, we're just getting our dinner ready, so just 1 second, but what is everyone doing for the holidays? Do you have any exciting plans? Are you going anywhere, like a trip? Because we are just going to see some family. We're hoping to go on a trip, but it didn't end up working out. But we are going to see some family, and it'll be nice because my brother's getting married, so we wanted to definitely see him and his fiance. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. It's very sweet of you. See, I have grape jelly meatballs here, and a potato. Shai says they're meeting a couple of IRL friends up in NYC for the first time. Oh, that'll be really fun. Enjoy that. Have you ever been to New York? I went once when I was 10, and I was a very plucky 10-year-old, and we went during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and I pushed a bunch of adult New Yorkers out of the way so I could sit in the front. And I said, I am a child, you are an adult, I don't care that you've been here since 3 o'clock in the morning. If you do not let me through, you are ruining a child's Thanksgiving. And I somehow managed to get me and my brother up to the front past a bunch of New Yorkers. So now you know about me as a kid. But yes, one of your friends that you've known for years, so you're really excited. No, that's really sweet. No, I'm excited for you. I've met some friends, internet friends in person before, and I've met you in person before, so it's always nice to do that. Like, it's a bit weird because you talk to somebody for a long time and you don't, fully know them. You know them, but you don't know them, and then you get to meet them, and you're like, oh wow, okay, I'm matching this up. This is you, and this is the you I talk to. But it's, I used to do a lot of like internet role playing back in the day, and it's funny because you think of the person almost as the character sometimes. Like, you're like, oh yeah, that's the person. You think of them as like the character. You think of them. I saw somebody who was on, and I don't think is anymore, but there was somebody on earlier.
Oh, was Martin Ayers also?
No. Hobbs was on.
Oh, Hobbs was on. Oh, that's one of your real.
Yeah, and we used to do Star Trek stuff, and I think of Hobbs as Spock even now.
I know, even though we've met in real life, and Hobbs is not anything like Spock.
Mm-mm. Well, Hobbs and Spock have the similar interests.
Well, yeah, but not really like similar personalities.
Anyway, Shai says they've been in New York multiple times since they live close enough that it's practical, and meeting up with internet people is such a cool experience. Have you ever met with any of your internet buddies?
Me?
Yeah, I'm assuming you have, probably.
Oh, yeah, tons of people. Well, I mean, that's actually how I met Taryn. If you remember, Taryn was a Tumblr buddy before.
I thought you knew each other in cons first.
No, Tumblr buddy first. Because we both did Star Trek.
Okay.
We both did Star Trek cosplay. That's how we met. Only Sherlock. We both did Sherlock. This was back in the days when we found out that we both did Star Trek and Sherlock, and I started following them on Tumblr because of their Star Trek stuff, and then we found out we both did Sherlock, and we met up at a con because of it, so we could all do Sherlock stuff together.
Birdie is right here, and he would very much like one of my meatballs, but he's not allowed that one.
Not at the table.
Maybe
Right.
later.
No meatballs at the table.
Well, at the TV tray, I guess.
We did. We put out our TV trays because
We thought it would be funny.
when we were thinking we wanted to be able to do this in front of the Christmas tree, and I was like, well, how are we going to do that? We've got the couch here and everything. We're like, well, maybe we'll put it on the coffee table. And then I was like, wait a second, we own TV trays. Ooh.
Because I got them for free.
What, from a relative, right?
From a relative. Someone said they haven't had meatballs in 389 days. That is incredibly specific. Are you keeping score?
That's very odd. So, sorry about eating now. We had meant to be eating at the beginning of this. And
But then the potatoes weren't ready.
Yeah, the potatoes weren't ready, so sorry about that.
Birdie.
Hey, Birdie Bots. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Oh, I don't know if anybody got to see those pictures of you as Queen Victoria where you were holding him.
I haven't posted those yet.
Oh, I thought you put them on Instagram. You didn't.
Not yet.
Oh, nobody's gotten to see that yet. Well, they were really cute. We didn't get to do any videos with him and Queen Victoria because in our hotel room, our space to record videos was so tiny. It was just basically like a little space between the bed and the wall. So there wasn't like even enough room to hold him. And you can't really tell, but all the videos that we took at TeslaCon we have a cord like between us because there was only one place we could plug in the hotel room that we didn't have to run extension cords in. Of course, I forgot to bring any. So I have to remember next time, bring extension cords because that was the only place we could record in the room. So that was a interesting thing. But TeslaCon was really fun. We enjoyed it a lot. I think we're going to go back next year, even though the theme is not the same theme. Because this year it was...
We went because of the
like
theme this year. It was like ghosts and like haunted houses and stuff, and we were like, oh, that sounds so good. And next year it's not going to be as much up our alley. It's going to be like an Egypt thing. But, you know, we really enjoyed it. The camaraderie was really nice, and people were just having a really good time. And what I really miss about cons that you don't see very often anymore, that was more about cons 10 years ago, is not being as focused on celebrities and being more focused on activities and like hanging out and having a good time.
They
with your
had
friends.
no celebrities. They had one guest who was
An author.
And
she was literally just in the vendor room.
Yeah, like she was basically just an author that wrote something that was related to the theme for the year, so they had her as a guest, and she was the only guest, and I thought that was pretty awesome, honestly, because it meant that they didn't rely on the guests for all their programming. And so we actually got to have a really good time, like, doing stuff at the con, because I've been getting tired of going to conventions and there's just absolutely nothing going on and everybody's got to make their own fun. And I get that, you know, there's a little bit of that at any convention because most of your fun comes from, like, meeting other people, but I would much rather have, like, some interesting programming to go to. You know, if I'm paying money to go to the convention, like, I could just go meet up with people anywhere if I wanted to. But if I'm going to go to a convention, I want the convention to give me something for my money.
But this convention did a lot of, you know, really nice, like, they did, like, craft competitions. They were just friendly competitions. They did, like, a lot of really interesting craft things you could do. They had games. They had really goofy activities. Like, you were in a hearse race.
Yes, where you were doing horse-drawn hearses, but they were these, like, bouncy ball horses that you could sit on, and you rode them, and they had, like,
a little
handles, and they were really hard to run.
And you had to run them around a big ballroom, and, like, you just don't see that kind of stuff. I was dressed as Prince
Albert. We're probably gonna post one of those soon.
But you don't see that kind of stuff as much at conventions like you used to, like, 10 years ago. Like, because that was a pretty common, like, type of thing to do at a smaller convention 10 years ago, like, doing kind of goofy races or stuff. But now you very rarely see that. So it was really nice to go to a convention where that was the case, because we haven't been to one in years.
Well, and the teacup racing thing was so cool. Like, so there's these two different, they do teapot and teacup racing. And this is, like, a tradition they've been doing for years. And the teacup racing is a non-powered racing. And you're basically trying to win two types of competitions for both. One is about the agility and speed and stuff. And the other one is about how it looks. So some people enter just for looks. And they basically you have to build something that has a teacup in it in some way.
It's like a remote control car.
Well, no, those are not remote control. Those are non-powered. So those are like a soapbox racer, but they're tiny. And those, they run down like a little track, and they, you know, it's basically like a race. And they do that the same you would with soapbox racers, but they also have a contest for the best looking one. So some people, like, go all in on the looks and don't try to, like, make it aerodynamic, and some people try to make it super aerodynamic. So you got lots of different things that people do. But then the teapot races are insane. Every year they build this whole track with all of these different, like, hazards that they have to drive through. It's very much like a monster truck rally, if you've ever been to one, where it's like...
But, like, with RC cars.
Yeah, with, like, RC cars. But they all have to have a teapot. So they'll have to be either a teapot or have a teapot in some way. One of them, the one that was doing the best that we saw, we didn't get to watch the whole thing, but the one that did the best that we saw was a rooster koozie on top of a teapot. It was really cute. But these are RC cars, and they, like, drive them around, and they have to, like, get through all these obstacles and things. And one of them this year, because of the theme, they had, like, a guillotine that came down, and it would, like, fall down onto cars and stuff, and, like, it didn't break any of them, but, like, you know, it definitely stopped them in their tracks.
But yeah, they did stuff like that, and they were way less focused on guests. They also have kind of, if you like kind of watching things, they have, like, a story every year, and they have, like, actors, like, people who are on the staff specifically to act and to do this, like, story. So, like, the story was about a family that lived in, like, kind of a haunted mansion, and their ghost ancestors, so kind of taking a page from the Addams Family musical a little bit.
Yeah, it was very Addams Family musical. Like, one of them decides to marry a normal person, and, like, everybody's up in arms, and they're, like, talking to the ghosts of the past about it and complaining to them and stuff. It was pretty great.
So anyway, TeslaCon's really fun. If you ever have a chance, it is in Wisconsin. Shai says, did they have to be real breakable teapots?
No, they didn't. Some people use real breakable ones. Other people use, like, plastic and stuff. It just had to be, like, portrayed in some way or another. I think the original version they had to be, but then everything's changed through the years. But people go really all out. Like, some people came with whole, like, boxes and stuff that, you know, were all labeled and decorated to, like, you know, with their, like, team name and everything.
Oh, tell them about the tea room.
Oh, the tea room. Oh, yeah, TeslaCon was really cool, okay. But one thing you could do is you could pay $15 at the door, and you had access to their tea room all weekend, and you could go in there, and you'd sit down, and we thought maybe they'd just have, like, some Lipton. You could just go in and have some Lipton and, you know, take a little breather. But it was really nice. They'd actually, like, seat you. They had actual, like menus, hosts, and they had a menu of teas. And then they'd come around, they had a cart, and they had cookies on the cart, and they'd ask you which one you wanted.
And they were like nice teas. Like these were like
yeah,
nice,
like they were
like artisan teas.
They were artisan teas. The artisan, like the tea people that made them, they were there selling them, so we bought some later. But basically, you know, they'd give you a whole cup of this lovely tea, and you pick whichever one you wanted, and they come around with cookies, and it looks like very cool. So.
Oh yeah, if you're ever in Wisconsin in November, definitely check it out. Or if you're in the Midwest and travel to Midwest cons, we really enjoyed it. It was our first year, and yeah, I think we're definitely going to do it again. So, someone says, "I love your content." Well, thank you.
What's the person above that?
Did they have to be? No, that was the one about the teapots.
Oh, the breakable teapots. Okay. No, we're going to be making more content tonight. After we get done having our dinner here. We had a late lunch down the street. So for people who are wondering, we live in a suburb of Chicago, kind of one of the far suburbs that's between Chicago and Milwaukee, and it's a really cool, like, historical town suburb.
It's Victorian. Like the buildings like started to be built in the 1840s, but a lot of the houses were built in the district that we live in between the 1850s, 60s, and up until about the 1920s. And then there's another district a little bit north of us that is all mid-century stuff. So 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, some really interesting ranch houses and things. But we're in the like the oldest section, and in our section, everything kind of ranges from like 1840s all the way until like 1920s, 30s is the latest in our section. But we are one of the older houses, but not the oldest house, because ours was built in the late 1850s. So before the town became a town, but still, like, there were things here at that point, because it was kind of like
But it's a super cool town, you know, and there's a lot of, like, art events and stuff, and a lot of things we can walk to, because we live right next to the downtown, which is, like, our downtown's 2 blocks south of us. So we can basically walk down there and do anything. There's like a really nice theater, and so there's huge concerts, and so we can go to concerts. We went to go see a band there fairly recently
called Gojo Bordello.
Gojo Bordello, yeah. And you know, I mean, we can walk down to concerts, we can walk down to plays, and then there was a Christmas thing, like a
art market,
art market, and then Christmas tree lighting with music, and it's fun. So if you ever hear us talking about the stuff that we do in our town, there's a lot of stuff to do here.
And I'm on a civic LGBT board that we do events in town for LGBT related charities and fundraising, but also just like community events. So fairly involved in the town despite having not lived here for 4 years.
We only moved here in March, but we got super involved in everything really fast, and now everybody knows who we are.
We went to the tree lighting. We knew 20 people there. It was very weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
Anyway. Do we want to sign off soon, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, we can sign off soon if you're ready to.
Yeah, I mean, does anybody else...
There was a story we were going to tell, and I forgot what it was. It was kind of related to these costumes.
Oh, it was the house.
Oh, yeah. We were going to tell that story. Okay, so last time we did these costumes, it was right at the beginning.
January of 2022.
Yeah, January of 2022. And I know it's been a long time, and I'm sorry for the delay. We didn't know people were going to like them, so we didn't like make time to do
them again.
Videos again. Because we were like, oh, we'll do some videos once, and we'll just wear them to cons. And then people really, really liked our videos.
And we're like, oh.
So we had to do some content.
Okay.
So when we first wore them, I guess it put us in such a, I don't know,
domestic mood.
Domestic mood.
But after we were done, we had been kind of looking at houses online, and we had, never really gone out to go look at any. But we were like, there was one that you kept coming back to, and I was like, at the end of the night, I was like, hey, maybe we should just go see that house. So you texted a real estate agent.
Right after we made all our videos.
Right after we made all of our videos. And then they texted us back the next morning, and they're like, yeah, we can go see you this afternoon. So we, the next day, went to go see a house, and...
It was this house.
We actually saw some other houses, too, but we kept coming back to this one. So that was the first house we saw, though, and we ended up buying it.
First house this house saw. Or
the first house we saw.
Works.
The first house
I was trying to do the Doctor Who thing.
Okay, well, anyway. But yeah, we just We were in such a domestic mood that we bought a house.
Be nice.
I was nice. I didn't say anything. You didn't hear anything.
I know, we've cursed on here before, sorry. If you watch our fan films, there's a
few curses.
It's funny because there's actually a lot more cursing in our Harry Potter fan film
than in
there is in our Hannibal
one.
fan film, which the Hannibal one's based on an M-rated show, and the Harry Potter one's based on a children's book series.
But people don't just curse or like go around cursing in Hannibal, though. It's mostly because of gore.
No, and the main reason that it happened in Harry Potter one is because
Sirius
place.
Black is angry.
Yeah, Sirius Black's very angry. It's true.
He was the main cursor in the video.
Yeah, he's a big cursor in the video, honestly.
Birdie.
Shh, be good.
Birdie.
You see little dog head popping up here. Anyway, we're going to say goodnight to everybody. So if you want to say your goodnights, say your goodnights. We're going to sign off in just a moment here.
All right.
Birdie. Here's our pup. And
Birdie,
I don't know where Spock went. But
Birdie, can you say goodnight?
go woof woof. Woof woof. No, he says he's not going to go woof woof.
Okay, well, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed the live, and happy holidays.
Good night. Happy
Good night.
holidays.